Hello everybody, welcome back to a GCSE Maths video. Today we'll be looking at substitution in formulae. So the first thing to remember is that a formula is a rule to calculate a value or the value of something that we want to find out. So for example, P equals 2a plus 2b is the formula to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle if its length is a and width is b. Let's look at this rectangle. So its length is a, its width is b. So we know that on the other side, that length is also going to be a, and on the other side, that width is also going to be b. So the perimeter is going to be a plus b plus b, which is 2a plus 2b. And so if we knew the values of a and value of b, then we could use that, to work out the perimeter. So for example, say a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2. Well, we could substitute that in, 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2, that is equal to 2 plus 4, which is equal to 6. Okay, so let's get into our first example. So S is equal to 180n minus 360. Find the value of S when n is 10. Okay, so S is equal to 180n minus 360. So if n is 10, that is going to be 180 times by 10 minus 360, which is equal to 1,800 minus 360. Okay, so what is 1,800 minus 360? That is going to be equal to 1,440. Okay, so the next one is going to be the cost, C, in pence, of a newspaper advertisement of n words is given by the formula C is equal to 30n plus 40. Find the cost of the advertisement of 20 words. So that is basically saying, what is the cost when n is equal to 20? So what do we know? We've got to substitute that in. So C is equal to 30 times 20, add 40. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is say, well, what is 30 times 20? And that is going to be 600. And then we do 600 plus 40, which is equal to 640. Okay, so when a stone is dropped off a cliff, the distance it falls after t seconds is d is equal to 5t squared. How far will the stone fall in 3 seconds? So we're asking for the distance, basically when t is equal to 3. So d is equal to 5 times by 3 squared. That's the same as saying 5 times 3 times 3, which is the same as saying, 15 times 3, which is 45. I'm guessing meters. In an exam, it would tell you, and you'd have to specify the units. Okay, so now let's have a look at this exercise. So P is equal to F plus 1. Calculate the value of P when F equals 1. So P will be equal to 1 plus 1, which is 2. What about when F is 2? So P is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. What about when F is 3? Well, it's going to be P is equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. What about if F is 5? P is equal to 5 plus 1, which is 6. What if F is 10? Well, P is equal to 10 plus 1, which is 11. Okay, let's try something more tricky. So use the formula V equals R times I, or Ri, to calculate the value of V when R is equal to 200 and I is equal to 2. So let's substitute those in. So V is equal to 200 times by 2. That is going to be 400. What when R is 50 and I is 3? So V is equal to 50 times by 3, which is equal to 150. What about when R is 250 and I is 1? So V is equal to 250 times by 1, which is simply 250. And then finally, what is V when R is 100 and I is 2? So that is going to be 100 times by 2, which is 200. Okay, use the formula D equals C over 3 to calculate the value of D when C is equal to 9. So let's substitute our values in. D is equal to C, which is 9 over 3. That's the same as saying 9 divided by 3. How many 3's go into 9? That is 3. What when C is 12? Substitute it in. D is equal to 12 over 3. That is the same as saying 12 divided by 3. How many 3's go into 12? 4. Well, when C is 21, same thing, okay? Substitute it in. D is equal to 21 over 3. 20, which is 21 divided by 3, which is 7. And then when C is 30, well, D is equal to 30 over 3, which is 30 divided by 3, which is equal to 10. Okay, and then, so the formula was D is equal to C over 3. D is equal to C over 3. So what about when C is 72? Well, D is equal to 72 over 3, which is equal to how many 3's go into 72? You've got 24. And then finally, when C is 4.5, so D is equal to 4.5 over 3, which is equal to 4.5 divided by 3. So how many 3's go into 4.5? Well, it's going to be 1.5. You've got 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.5, which is equal to 4.5. Okay, so that will be today's video on substitution with formulae. I hope it cleared things up and I hope it was useful.